Hello, YouTubers. I'm not quite awake yet, but I wanted to post this video last night. Again with the yachting. This is sort of in reply to, what's her name? With the beautiful red hair like a fairy. I can't pronounce it. Starts with a P. Well, she did the videos on how to wear the hijab, and another video about the hijab, and it opened up another world to me with the hijab. And I'm gonna lie with you, I did take shahada at one point in my life. That when I learn about a religion, I not only learn about it, but I have to go through. Well, when I was younger, when I was also trying to find myself, when I was finding my way, even as I knew I was a witch, I still took shahada because I felt I needed to experience it. I took shahada, I did the praying, and I loved wearing hijab, but I realized that Islam just was not for me. I really just didn't fit. But I tell you what did, it was hijab. But I shied away from wearing the hijab a lot because I was always afraid to offend the Muslims. And I didn't know of any other pagans that really covered their head except to wear like a turban or a hood or, a pretty veil, flowers, I didn't know any others that covered their head, so I didn't do it. And I've always felt more comfortable, especially out in public, with a hijab on. This is only a temporary hijab. It doesn't cover my hair. I don't feel as though it needs to, because I'm not Islamic. I don't live in the Middle Eastern countries, so I don't mind showing my hair. I slept with it on in a knot, so I'm letting my chin air out a little bit. The knot is not all that comfortable. The only place I know in my house that I actually have a safety pin is, there's a few safety pins on my ritual hat. And I don't know of anywhere else in my house that I have any safety pins. I have to look in my sewing kit to see if there's any safety pins in there. Because I want this covered when I go out today. I want to show that, because in other cultures, like the Italian culture and whatnot, to cover your head means that you're no longer available. I am not legally married to Jonathan. I'm not. But I am his and he is mine. I know some people wouldn't agree with that, but we are in a relationship that is very much like marriage, a good marriage. He's still coming into the fact that someday maybe we will do something formal. He knows my feelings about it. You know, he knows I want to wear the pretty dress, you know, and everything. You know, and I know that's not what the ceremony is about, wearing the pretty dress. And I just say that, you know, not only because, you know, I would like to have that special day where I can wear a lacy, poofy dress and get away with it, you know, but it's like I also want what everybody else has. You know, I would like to have that ceremony. I don't want anything expensive. You know, I'm not about expense and showing off. This is more for me and him. I think we should do something official, especially when the kids come home. I think that it would be a wonderful way to celebrate the kids coming home. You know, and I'm not even asking him to do it legally. I'm not. You know, we're devoted to each other spiritually, well, with our souls. You know, he's not spiritual. But aside from that, I get spoken to by a lot of men that I don't know. I cower and run because the way they're speaking to me, it feels so. Well, the energy I'm getting from them is that they have an interest in me, and it makes me very uncomfortable because I have no symbol of being taken. I am with somebody. I do not appreciate you intruding on my personal space. I do not appreciate it. You know, I asked Jonathan's opinion what he thought of me wearing the hijab. He doesn't mind. And then he once tried Islam. Yes, my very atheist boyfriend tried Islam. The only thing now that he doesn't really adhere to it for a spiritual reason, but he adheres to it because he just doesn't like it. He doesn't like pork or ham or bacon. It's just because he doesn't like it, but that's one of the things. Pig is the unclean animal in Abrahamic religions, and I'll tell you what, I love my bacon, and Black Forest ham is the magic of ham. I'm gonna eat my ham, and leave my ham alone, thank God. The only thing I have to worry about him when we go grocery shopping, because I'm decided to get a whole bunch of yogurt and start eating a lot of yogurt. Because I've been craving yogurt. I don't know why. I've been craving like good for you stuff. Probably because my body needs it. I've been eating a whole bunch of crap, and I'm so exhausted. I really am. I'm completely exhausted. In fact, I'm going right back to bed after this video, but I gotta make sure I'm up for group. I go to Wednesday group. Yes, I do have a few mental illnesses, but that's neither here nor there. At least I can keep myself somewhat sane. But, you know, I've tried to wear a ring, and that's worked except for the fact that the only rings I can afford in my price range mark up my finger. And as much as I tried to cover it with top coat, it doesn't work. The ring thing worked for me, you know, for the most part, but it didn't cover my head, which is another thing. Because some people have actually were saying that it helps protect their head chakra. You know, helps them with social anxiety. I do have a lot of anxiety, so I figured maybe my head chakra's just all screwed up, all open and stuff. So there's many reasons for me to try wearing hijab again. I probably shouldn't call it hijab, but it's such a pretty word. It is. Some of the most beautiful language can come out of the Middle East. Trying to steer my mind away from politicalness. This is not what the video's about. It's about my personal choice in my path to wear a head covering. Does my goddess require me, or has she even asked me to wear a head covering? Oh, my goddess is Hecate. Sometimes she is seen with a hood. I see her a lot of times with a hood or some kind of head covering. And I tell you what, usually when I'm doing my housework, my head's covered by a bandana. It's for practical reasons, to get the hair out of my way. I'm wearing the head covering, the hijab, for practical and spiritual reasons. I was looking at scarves last night while I was at school online. There's this one with that has silver pentacles on it. I feel maybe it would be appropriate for me to get one with pentacles on it. And that's what I feel would be appropriate for me. I don't really want one that's going to draw a lot of attention. My favorite color is orange, because as you see, my cloak is orange. That's my favorite color. It's the color of creativity. I'm a very creative person. However, I do not want to wear orange on my head every day or at all. I don't mind wearing my orange tiger hat. Even if that draws attention, but it's not as blinding. Yet when people look at you, they see the tiger. That's all they see. And it's warm. For some reason, I think wearing a bright orange headscarf might be a little much. I don't think I could take all that brightness around my face. I don't even really like this color, but it's what I got. Besides these bandanas. Before I go out today, I will actually put my head covering on properly. I will probably put this one under it or another one, only so that my head doesn't slip off my head. This one, it's off my head, something horrible. I got it secured with hair clippies. But I don't want it to slide. I want it to stay in place. And I do not live in an area where I know of too many Islamic clothing stores. If I was back in Philadelphia on Armat Street, there was one a block up. Oh, I love Islamic soap. I can't even remember what kind I used, but Naima would bring, soap and stuff and oils to sell. I would buy the soap. Oh, it's creamy. It smells nice. I miss that girl. Even though, I never once before saw her with her face covering, except once, and that was before I knew her. They wouldn't let them wear their face coverings in jail court during the day while they were in classes. They could wear the head covering, but not the face covering. And Naima and her husband had decided that, she can't wear it just don't even bother to wear it till you come home. Now, the other girl was of a different mind. The other woman she hung out with, I don't quite remember her name, because she wasn't in my dorm. She was in a different dorm. She, on the other hand, it was the funniest thing. Me and her and Naima were sitting at the table, and it was shrimp for dinner, or lunch. It was lunch. There were shrimp. And she's lifting up this head covering to put the shrimp, under. And I'm like, that's too funny. The thing of it is, I've never seen most Islamic women eat out. I mean, they're, with the head covering. Not in my area, of course. With the face covering. But it was so funny. She was lifting it up. Even Naima thought it was a little much. That was her Islamic name. Her real name was Amanda. I don't want to say real name. Her legal name was Amanda. Because just because you're listening, you're going to mean it's your real name. That's her legal name. And then she had the longest eyelashes. The longest. She was crazy. I loved her. Because as soon as we got in that dorm, and it was just us girls, off came the hijab, off came the long garment, and she's running around in a pair of boxers and a wife beater and these big old men's socks. Tattoos showing, because before she became Islamic, she had got a lot of tattoos. Yeah, I absolutely loved her. She was so fun. But she did put her coverings on to pray. Unfortunately, her prayer at one prayer of the day fell when we would have a dorm meeting, and everybody would be so offended, including the staff, that she would be upstairs praying and not at the meeting. I'm like, you do realize there's only a certain amount of time during the day where they have to pray, and they have to pray at certain times with the sun. And I said she's very devout. They actually had to put her in a back office that hardly anybody used for her to pray, because she had to, every time she prayed, she had to turn all her roommates' pictures around, because in her tradition, in a house where there's photos, angels do not dwell. That was her tradition. So everybody just was getting upset. And I said, now hold on. What if it was you? Maybe we should change the time of our house meeting. That's a little bit easier to change around than Allah's will. Let's try to put it that way. Because she was following what she believed to be the will of her God, Allah. That's what she had to do. That was the God she was devoted to. She was, devoted to the God of Islam. I would get fired up about the subject. But at this point, I went back to being the witch I am. But I was still friends with Naima. She had no problem going with me anywhere on campus. The other one kind of just shied away from both of us. But then one day she was walking in Philadelphia. I'm walking over to the, somewhere. I don't know where it's walking to. But I look over, I see this Muslim lady. She's white. And she's the longest eyelashes, and she's looking at me, I'm looking at her. And I'm like, Naima? She's like, crazy girl? Oh my God. She actually went back to Philadelphia. She left Job Corps and came back and to Philadelphia to take nursing. I forget what she was doing in Job Corps. I honestly don't know. you know, and she was wearing her face covering. It made her feel better. And I tell you what, her essence would shine through her eyes a lot better. That's how I was able to notice her, not only by the eyelashes. Because anybody can have long eyelashes. It's her essence. I'll tell you what, I even got hit on when I went into the Islamic store to get the soap. The man asked me, when are you going to take Shahada? I didn't tell him I had already taken Shahada and I was no longer of the affiliation. He's sitting there with his 3 wives. I think he was looking for a 4th. I don't share well. No. No, I couldn't take being in a polyamorous relationship, let alone where the man was in charge. No. I don't share well. That's why I love the fact my Jonathan is not like that. He's into one guy, one girl. Granted, I am bisexual, but women are just too crazy to date. They are. I should know. I am one. I accept the fact that, yes, I do have an attraction to girls, but I love my Jonathan too much to be with anybody else. And then some of my friends who are bi kind of disagree with me, but then they have a lot of drama in their lives. They think you need to have the best of both worlds, and they failed miserably at it. I had a choice to go either this way or that way. That's the wonderful thing about being bi. But I knew better than to have 2 at the same time. That's just cause for drama. And I kind of stopped dating women after too many problems. I didn't even though I know I should, it sounds kind of sexist. I expected men to cheat more than I would a woman. Inside we're all the same, but I just felt like a woman should know better than to hurt another woman in that way, especially when that one girl is devoted to you and doesn't really want to date anybody else at the time. I actually left a relationship to try another relationship with a woman, and I got burned again. I was like, you know what? This is nuts. I couldn't take it. It just twisted my noodle. So I said, no more. Accept the fact in yourself that you are attracted to women, but they're nuts. I went through a lot of bad relationships with men, but I've now found Jonathan. We've known each other for a long time. We've been on and off. And now we have a son together. It's a great thing. He accepted my daughter as his own. Not many men will do that. Especially when he's not dating the mother at the time. But he did. He didn't just show concern for just Drusilla. He showed concern for both of us after I had her. But I'm at 24 minutes, so I'm gonna say see ya.